There was some party. Some guys had an opening of a new workwear shop. So it's all these like PPE boots and goggles and tools, and it's basically a man cave shop. You walk in there and it's just I always said to wives and girlfriends, if you want to buy your boyfriend and husband anything, if there's any gift thing like a birthday, Christmas, just go in there and buy anything. Just whatever. Walk in there, say one of those, what size, this size, done. And they'll be happy. So it's one of those sort of places. They had an opening. And from what I understand, one of the Binder's good friends, or it's the guy who does all their apparel and that, is I think a co-owner or a partner, I think, or has something to do with it. So the Binders were there, but it was interesting because it was a small invite-only affair. Mostly people all kind of knew each other, and so it was very relaxed. It wasn't a big public affair where the Binders are sort of brought up on a stage and have to, there's a whole queue of people. So it was just a mingle. It was really good fun.
Yeah, and I heard that Darren's heading to USA, is it?
So I will tell you what is so interesting about the two Binders. They're always just so nice. I mean, I brought a mate of mine with me who knew big Binder fan, but he's never met them before. And when we saw them, I went and said hello, all of that. Brought Brad around and said, look, do you mind come meeting a friend of mine and signing a few things? Yeah, sure, no problem, bud. There he is, and he was super friendly, super nice, signed everything, chatted for a little while, and then, of course, his attentions were taken and he had to go and mingle with all sorts of people. I then asked Darryn if he wouldn't mind just coming across. And Darryn came there, smiled for the photos, signed the stuff, and sat chatting for about 20 minutes afterwards. Literally just sat, chilled and chatted with us, a small table, me and one or two or three friends or so. And we just chatted. He had his arm his biggest problem is his arm. He broke it again riding motocross. So he's going to America. He's riding it's called the Celtic Warhorse Ducati team. How cool a name is that? That's the coolest name for a team ever. He's riding the Supersport on a Ducati V2. Small problem, he's only ever spoken to the team via telephone. He hasn't met them, and he's never ridden the bike. And with his remember, he kept breaking his wrist, and he had all sorts of problems. They just don't mend. They plate them, but the bones don't mend. And then you go, with the plates, it'll hold it all together. So you go ride and you do these activities. The plates then shake loose, and then the bones start shaking loose, and they never actually bind. And then the plate gets looser and looser, and suddenly you got an arm problem again, and then they have to go in and put another plate. So now he's had I think it's the third or fourth time he's now had a plate put in the same arm that he broke somewhere last year. So now again, he's sitting there recovering if he's lucky, he will make it to the first race, but he's literally going to meet the team like at the track and ride that bike that he's never ridden before for the first time on a track he's never been on before for the first time, at Friday practice. If his arm maintains. So he's done no testing, he's done no anything. He hasn't even met his team yet. But I do think that that Moto America is a good place for Darryn. He'll mingle well there. He will get on. It's a very welcoming sort of place. And I think from what we've seen, other people, who've also come from MotoGP or MotoGP classes and gone across, I think he can do well there. He's got the right sort of pace and right sort of everything. And I think, if I know Darryn, he's very kind of a very sort of a personable sort of person. He's very sort of social, and I think the American culture will suit him a bit better. He will feel better there. He'll feel more at home, and that helps a lot. Whereas when you're in the European teams, you tend to sort of sit in a pit box, and you're the only English speaker there. And everybody else in the team's going da-da-da-da-da-da in whatever language they are, and you just kind of sit there as a bit of an outsider. And I think that makes a difference. Whereas now he's going to arrive at the pit box and go, hey, man, how you doing? That'll help.
Yeah, no, I think the bottom line here, Don, is the local boys to you, the two Binder brothers are just down to earth, really nice people, and all this celebrity status has not gone to their heads. They're still just really nice guys, and they love racing. And like you say, Darren's heading over there. He's not met his team, nothing. Straight off the bat, and he's going to do his thing.
Well, it was kind of fun. It was seeing Brad was there with his wife Courtney and his new baby daughter, and it was kind of fun. For the first time, I haven't seen Brad in like 2 years. We just haven't had a chance to sort of meet up. He's all over the place. And it's the first time I've seen him as Daddy Brad. And there he is walking around with his daughter, and there was like a cute moment where he and his wife took her aside, and they went and sat on the floor, like in the side somewhere, and were busy feeding her, and it just looked adorable. It was just but yeah, Daddy Binder.
No, awesome. I bet he feeds it quite fast.
We asked him, we said, anyway, she's soon going to get on a motorbike. And he's like, no, she can ride a bike, you can do whatever, it mustn't race. No, I don't want to race it. I said, good luck with that. Watch, first female world champion is going to be Little Miss Binder.
There we go.